Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And some room to work. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Johnson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Oh, yeah. Here we go again.
Darnold now to throw. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Looking left side, and it's complete. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
53, check 53.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. To throw is Darnold. And this will complete to Smith. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Max 50, Max 50. Here we go, here we go.
Darnold. That is caught inside the 5. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
They'll run it with Johnson, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Chop. Hey, Charlie.
Now Darnold. Steps away, and the Steelers are in for the touchdown. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Fights loose. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. Nothing too fancy there, a simple toss left, but for whatever reason, the defense, they didn't seem ready for it.
Let me continue on with your thought right there, because after the play was over, I kept my eyes on the defenders. Watch them get off the ground, going back to the huddle, shaking their heads and kind of pointing to each other like, what just happened there? I think you were onto something.
Topper! Topper! He's coming! Double up! Double up! He's coming! Double up! Ready!
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 25.
On the carry, it's Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Justin Jackson, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Steelers get for their 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
17 at the 18-yard line.
We're going to start. 58. 58 to Mike. Drop deep. Ready. Check.
Now it's Darnold. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Here we go, son. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. We got Waiting. Check. Hey, son. Check. Big son.
3rd and 2, Darnold. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To the air again, Darnold. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. There he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
53 to mark, 53%.
Darnold from the gun. And he'll find Hall. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
First down.
Darnold now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, exit.
Here's Darnold. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Here's Darnold. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
Come on, fellas. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full exit. Mike 54. Mike 54. Set hot.
2nd and 9 now. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And all the way down to the 37. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Jones. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Switch. General. West. Scene 6. 58. Ready, go.
Here's 2nd and 8. This complete to Jones. "9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down."